Hi, you guys. With the eclipse coming next week, where I live is right in the path of totality. And it just got me thinking about, we talk a lot about being on our path. And suddenly I saw it as, what we're in the path of, the forces that are coming at us, and how that might affect our movement forward. And the pre-shuffle, Fool was on the bottom of the deck. Card of Aries. We're in Aries season right now, and this is the this is the archetypal energy of the individual in search of wholeness, embarking on that path. It's an individual, at least at the beginning of the path, you take the leap by yourself. That's a brand new beginning. And in this deck, we've got all this energy underground, the alligator, that aquatic creature that can sort of lie in wait with only its eyeballs above the water. I don't know if you've ever seen that. We're getting an interesting little red dot there from the overhead. So all this energy beneath the surface. The Fool's taking the leap anyway. And I think there's some question if we knew what we were leaping into, would we? Do we need that energy of the Fool just to go for it in any case? So we saw that Ten of Wands, and I'm aware of it. But this was revealed when I took the Fool off. There was Empress. In this one, and honestly, I'd never seen it before. Empress is often pregnant in the depictions in the decks, and I never saw, but there's a little fetal seed growing inside. The early stages of creativity. Early in the term, something like that. Okay, Eight of Cups is the next in line, but we're going to wait on that. It's the journey forward. These stepping stones toward you're not sure what. Okay, I'll show it to you. It's sort of like the heart unveiling as it moves forward, kind of in faith, allowing the path to reveal itself. We were talking about what you're in the path of and what your path is. Well, that's the path. This heart-centered, I know the way home. I can't quit pulling these because they matter. Under that, Eight of Cups was the Emperor. So we have Emperor, Empress. Wow. And under that, Two of Cups. And that's the last one I'm going to take off of that pile, which was Hierophant. The guides are trying to tell us something. There's a lesson in this. The the owl has the book. Higher power is sort of schooling us a little bit. Our young soul. Baby of the major arcana. You know, it's like, sit down, let me tell you about the energies that you can't see yet. The courage it'll take to make the leap. Hierophant is earth energy, this guidance from what can't be seen. Card of Divine Feminine. The ability, I think, to both earth energies. Empress is Taurus. Hierophant is Taurus. This whole line of major arcana is quite amazing. It's like, as you embark on this journey, this fool's journey, where there's a lot about it you don't know yet. You're getting a kind of the blueprint somehow. This is what to expect. You know, attend now so you'll be prepared for what's to come. And the Hierophant, the higher powers, are supporting you in this leap forward. They're giving you fire energy, Aries energy. I'm going to do this. You know, I got this kind of feeling. And it might be you're entering into a period of enormous creativity. You know, the birthing of that new thing within you. And the labor pains involved. It could be a pregnancy, but I think for most of us, it's just carrying the potential, you know, within yourself, within your own body. Taurus season is up next. So we have the Fool, Aries, Empress, Taurus. You know, and this path forward. Emperor, Two of Cups. You're being prepared for the new beginning. The Emperor, I think, has to leave something behind, something that he, she, or they loved and are still connected to. So there's this pull of the past, even while they move forward. To this, a new connection, perhaps with their divine counterpart. With their honey. Okay. Yeah. Tell us about the Eight of Cups, please, for Emperor, for the action taker, for the one who's running the show. In this case, he's got all these people he's controlling. Emperor can be controlling. And, remember that Ten of Wands that I had appeared and I sort of forgot about it? Well, here it is again. On Eight of Cups. I think in order to move forward on this path that leads to new feelings, new connections, this Emperor, Aries, Wands energy, will have to lay down burdens. You know, it's kind of like this person has picked everything they can. You know, everything that was ready has been gathered up. And I mean, yes, it's lovely, but it's a burden that this king is moving away from. I'm sorry, this emperor. Emperors, all the king's men. So there's a closing out of a cycle for this person. Now they need to redirect their energy. 10 of Wands, that's something I'm not doing anymore. Okay. Tell us about what the Emperor is not doing anymore. Maybe trying to control everything? Judgment. Well, judgment can be a decision. If Emperor is no longer trying to control kind of how the path unfolds, I feel like I'm at a dead end, And that's a little bit echoed in the landscape here. Like that cityscape where, in the countryside, there aren't many dead ends, There's always a way around. As the crow flies, when you're in that grid of the city, the cityscape in your psyche, you can feel like somehow backed into a corner. Maybe for this divine masculine, it all became too much. It had reached the end of the cycle. They had to move on. And judgment, shows in traditional Rider-Waite the people rising out of the coffin. It's new life. It involves leaving something behind. Wow. 2 of Cups, Devil. Leaving something behind were the last words out of my mouth. Having closed up a cycle. I think Emperor was, leaving behind some sort of addiction or fear that they couldn't live without something. The devil would keep us in a place, it's the energy of something that would keep us in place with the idea that you can't live without this thing. The object of your addiction. Whether you're addicted to staying safe, or you're addicted to a substance, or a person, or a particular pattern, devil can mean that. You're addicted to being held back by what you fear, because that in of itself keeps you safe, keeps you from doing this. So it's interesting, divine feminine is in a place of being able to leap forward in this Aries kind of a way, powerfully, confidently. I'm intrigued by that alligator underneath. Those are sort of the depths that the Fool leaps into. So that while divine feminine is leaping, her psyche is like growing by leaps and bounds. Divine Masculine is wrestling with their own fears, their own habitual way of doing things. And I think that they're now, here's the wake-up call. You don't need to repeat that same cycle over and over again. Don't need to repeat the same cycle. In that same fire energy, the energy of Aries, somebody here is moving forward. I think for the Emperor, it's this connection to their divine, to their counterpart, to their lover, to their honey pie. The person in their life that they feel most connected to and safe with. There's this chance to begin again, judgment. And it's not really like entirely escaping the past, this devil energy. It's somehow transmuting it. It's like you take control. Divine Masculine is going to take control. Leave something behind and head toward this. Okay. On Hierophant, we have the Sun. Wow. That whole line is major arcana. Deep, powerful energies at work here. Perhaps to do with the solar eclipse that's upcoming. That may mark for Divine Feminine a new beginning. And her guides are, whispering right in her ear, this is how to do it. We're with you every step of the way. We got you. We'll catch you. This is another Divine Masculine energy. In the sense that it's about revealing, we got the character here with a bird over the eye. It's both revealing and concealing in that eclipse way. In back of the guides here is the moon. Something is getting illuminated. And you're on a path, Divine Feminines. It's almost like, I'm not sure where this comes from, but it's what rang in my head. A collision course. Sun, moon. A collision course. Without the drama. It's not like it's where two paths intersect. You're coming to some crossroads at the same moment. Page of Swords. That's such a little energy. There's the dandelion blowing. It's almost like one idea, one breath. I don't know if I breathed on the cards. I usually breathe on the cards. Well, Page of Swords is a card of investigation and learning, taking a look into something. It's clarifying Empress. In that way of the creative endeavor we were talking about, the baby in the belly. Something is created and then disseminated. Maybe something to do with this teaching, this Hierophant, knowledge coming from the higher power, right through you, Empress. You might actually be a teacher. But Hierophant is that card of teacher as well. You're somehow passing on a message. You might be a writer. There's a country and western song. I don't know the lyrics very well, but it's like, I'm a mother, I'm a lover, I'm a sinner, I'm a blah blah. That's Empress is all the aspects of divine feminine. Mother, lover, creator. I think you're creating something very specific. From your sort of, your abundance. You have so much to draw on. You've got the energy of the earth behind you, Gaia itself. But you're going to channel it somehow into something you can disseminate. When we learn something, we can't eat the whole pie at once. You have to take it bite by bite, section by section. There's a certain steps to learning something. And I don't think you wait for the revelation before you take the leap. This is sort of like leap, take the leap, then the look. Not a look before you leap. Because this is a card of looking into something, trying to parse it, identify the component parts. And the suggestion here to Divine Feminine is, you can't understand it until you actually do it. You have to enter into life, put your cards on the table, join the whatever it is that's already in motion. But this lesson is very illuminating. It reveals something about your own, perhaps, divine masculine nature, that somehow you've learned how to balance out the two, feminine and masculine. That's been a teaching that somehow maybe you can now impart to a larger world in whatever medium is your medium. It might be writing, it might be teaching, it might be gardening, it might be taking a leading role in something where you've usually operated kind of out of the spotlight. You're coming into the spotlight. Remember I said collision course? You've got two very strong, purposeful, do-it energies, both expressed by the Divine Feminine. And here, while this is a quote-unquote masculine energy, it's depicted as a woman in the same energy as you, Divine Feminine. I think Emperor has met his match. and somehow that this connection will call divine masculine out of some web of codependence, or I don't think it's substance abuse. I think it's something that it should have looked like this. The twins, the intertwinement of the flowers. But it somehow came to be this burden to intertwine. You were this divine masculine was carrying like an unfair, disproportionate amount of responsibility. Somebody was perhaps clinging to him as he was clinging to something else. It was like a chain reaction. That pattern, can be and likely will be broken. Will the circle be unbroken by and by? Okay, right off the top, Page of Cups. This thing emerging, this new feeling, this young, fresh possibility. Something that's looking you right in the eye. Can I enter into your life? Will you take me in, drink me up? 7 of Cups. Something like, out of all the options, will you choose this one? This cup, this Page of Cups. It's getting murky already. Well, some kind of conversation or there's movement afoot. Some kind of conversation that clears up perhaps the confusion, 7 of Cups. Because there's something about this that, while she's regarding it kind of impassively, I have a reaction of like fish out of water. Like, what are you doing here? How'd you get here? It was such a cohesive reading up until now, and it just sort of bugs me that I didn't stop earlier. Didn't stop earlier. What's that about? Death card. Card of Scorpio. I think something really, and it's coming right under 10 of Wands, something really had to be seen through to its, honorably, everything attended to, not like dropping the ball. It's like completing the cycle so that you can move on. 8 of Cups. In water energy, in terms of your feelings, towards something wholly new. Something being reborn. Something being reborn. This new, this is the big, hard-hitting major arcana card of transformation, that shakes somebody right down to their foundation, deep, deep in their psyche. Things have changed up. But this is how it appears in 3D. some little, it's almost like some feeling that peaks up and then disappears again. Death card, Knight of Cups. Well, it's grown, it's transformed from the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups. It's like one level of feelings. This is a love on the move. The other one was the little fish essentially trapped in a teacup. One more on Knight of Cups. I love this Chariot. Also a card of water energy, Cancer energy. Usually indicates fast forward movement. Here it's a snail. But it's something coming out of its shell. It indicates a kind of vulnerability. Like I'm ready to move forward. It may not look fast, but it's a real emergence of emotion. Somebody's really transformed, and they're on the move. And so are you. Perhaps it's a communication, Eight of Wands, coming in that will clarify the Seven of Cups. Like, where are we going? Seven of Cups, where are we going? Eight of Cups, Emperor has a destination in mind. They're going to do it. And I think that this transformation really has taken a long time. It may have seemed like it moved at a snail's pace to get from the little Dixie cup of Page of Cups to, you make my heart sing kind of energy. It's a transformation that could not have been rushed. To rush it before this person was ready to let go, this divine masculine, I'm getting like would have pulled it apart, pulled its legs off. Something like the spider's fangs that had sunk in. There needed to be a kind of a release, a working it out, what was holding one back, or this person would have not been able to extricate from the web without losing parts of themselves. And full energy is all about movement toward, there's one more apparently, movement toward what makes us whole. The willingness to take a leap into our own lives, to become whole. On Knight of Cups, Three of Swords. There's the heart, there's love on the move. And I think it's despite the wounds that were, the ways in which we were wounded and that we as well wounded somebody else. It's usually back and forth, not really one-sided. Devil is imbalance. Imbalance. Unbalanced, let's put it that way. But this is an energy of reciprocity. I think it will involve great compassion and a kind of recognition, a sword energy, a knowledge of what it means to have been hurt, and still being Nine of Cups, the ability to move forward in love. That may be what somehow the knowledge you're disseminating. Like, I think people might watch you do this and get a sense of their own power, the Sun card. You're somehow working for the collective. By working on yourself, you're working for the collective. Fool speaks to the self. Sun speaks to the self. But you're working for the collective. Okay, they're saying one more. Is that really possible? Oh, Manischewitz. One more. Okay, we'll leave it there. Ace of Pentacles, that's the new beginning, the tangible sprout. You know, Page of Cups is fresh new love. The new life here. The being able to love after receiving the heartbreak. It's like being broken open. And I think once that happens, you know, once there's an understanding or a conversation, sword energy, about the heartache, a conversation about it, we've got the forward movement we're looking for. Perhaps in Cancer time. It's being initiated right now. Fool, Emperor, 2 cards of Aries, both for the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You and your counterpart are somehow in sync in this new beginning. I'm not sure you can see it yet, but it's somehow on its way in. 8 of Wands. Like the seed, like the... on its way in. You know, on the wind. On the wind. And yes, the seed will take root and grow, and already has been planted somehow. Five of Swords. You know, almost like being planted in the space. This person has this emptiness where their heart should be. You know, they may have been fighting this for a long time, or you, or both of you, had your backs turned to each other. And in that space, you know, in the space created by the broken heart, this new thing, this new 3D opportunity will take root in the space. It's on the wind. Okay, you guys. Yeah, subscribe please if you haven't already. That really helps. And I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.